It is 8:10 a.m. It is April 29th, coming into the end of the month here. Another big week of earnings coming up, and basically last week was a wild week. Down in Meta, up with Google and Microsoft, and the market basically just drove higher on Friday and just kind of held those prices. Pretty much was at the expected move for the day, and kind of just like almost hit 810, 510, and then pulled back towards the close. So that's what's going on. This morning, market's up a little bit, but then this week we have Apple and Amazon reporting, and we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment on Friday. So that's up for this week. So welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile and market profile to find structure in the market, along with gamma exposure levels, anchor VWAP, and the most traded price of the month, the rolling week and the previous day. Also supply and demand. This just helps me gauge where the market's at, helps me give scenarios, which I'll do later, and give a game plan for the day. And then, of course, once the market opens, the new analysis happens for what's going on in the market since the open. And then hopefully, game plan comes to fruition. Best case scenario is game plan comes to fruition from one of my scenarios, and the market sets up for a trade. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the market does follow my plan, but then it's not really like a trade setup that I like to take. So that's trading though, right? So anyway, if you haven't already, please subscribe, set an alert if you haven't. All right, if you like my content, you can give me a big thumbs up or a like, and you could always follow me on X at Gonzo719. We can get right into the futures watch list, and let's see here what we have going on. We have a VIX that's up 1.33%. It's at 15.23, so a little bit of fear, a little bit. We were more fearful last week at one point. This is interesting. 30-year bonds being bought, catching a bid. Okay, that should send the 10-year yield down. Ether's up 0.59, Nasdaq's up 0.39, Russell's up 0.34, Silver's up 0.33, ES is up 0.25, the Dow is up 0.15, gold is flat. 10-year yield did not report but should move down. Dollar is down 0.26, crude's down 0.33, and the Bitcoin is down 2.61. So a little detached from Ether there. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Tesla up 12%. Could strike a deal with China and Baidu to do some, I believe, autonomous driving cars. Regardless, if it's not autonomous, I believe it's some kind of deal struck with Baidu. Okay, so that's big for the company. Cybertruck getting released somewhere too, but that's huge, up 12%. Crazy. Finally catching a bid, Tesla. Right, hit a low of 138.8, and now we're already back to 188. So very interesting. Apple's catching a bid today too, up 2.56. It reports earnings this week. Amazon catching a bid too, also reports earnings this week. AMD also reports earnings this week, up 1.18. So tech sector getting a lot of love. Well, Apple and AMD would be tech sector. Amazon and Tesla is discretionary. So you should see those sectors up pretty big. Nvidia's up 0.36. Okay, now laggards, we have Microsoft down 0.15, Netflix down 0.40, Meta down 1.22. I think they have something going on, some kind of lawsuit or something like that. Google, interesting, down 1.54, maybe some profit taking happening on Google. And Coinbase, with Bitcoin being down 2.25%. Okay, let's move on to the top sector stocks. Okay, CAT is up 0.33. Eli Lilly reports this week. McDonald's reports this week. All right, so nothing really big up there. Morgan Stanley, interestingly, is down 0.92. I haven't seen why that is per se. We'll maybe find that out a little bit. Let's go to my stock swing trade list. Who's the leader there? Domino's Pizza. I believe they reported earnings. Still up 5.22%. Paramount Global was looking to get bought. So they're up 5.04. Shopify didn't report yet. They probably had some news. Let's see, Citigroup upgrade. They got an upgrade. Okay. Tandem Diabetes is up 3%. Lucid up 2.44. Carvana up 2.13. AstraZeneca. All right. So let's look at laggards here. Riot. MicroStrategy. I mean, this is like crypto related stuff. So Mara down 3%. And the IBIT, the Bitcoin ETF down 2.29. SoFi reported earnings, I believe. They are down 2%. All right, that's really it there. Let's go back to this top sector, and then we'll go to sectors. Like I said, XLY should be up pretty big, and it is, with Amazon and Tesla. Up 1.87%. Technology's up 0.44. Staples 0.07. But the lagger is communications because of Meta and Google being down. Okay, that's what's going on there. Okay, so that's our watch. So we can get into economic calendar, the news, earnings this week. All right, let's do that. All right, let's see what we got going on today. Today's very light news. We have very light volume too, currently. Relative volume's light today. I think Japan's on a holiday. Maybe that could be why too. But let's see. Today we have Dallas Fed at 10:30. Tomorrow we have, what do we have here? Chicago PMI, consumer confidence. Wednesday we have ISM manufacturing and JOLTS jobs, and ISM manufacturing employment and crude inventories. There we go. FOMC on Wednesday. Huge. 5.5. Everybody's expecting a pause still, followed by the press conference. So Wednesday's a big day. Okay, Wednesday, that's May 1st. We have Thursday's jobless claims. All right, but then Friday you have non-farm payrolls unemployment, along with S&P Global Composite PMI and ISM services, followed by some Fed speak. So I don't know how I didn't realize it, but I didn't realize it was FOMC. I thought it was just Apple, and all about Apple, Amazon, and non-farm payrolls, but FOMC on Wednesday. So today's looking relatively quiet right now, but you're going to have fireworks on Wednesday and Friday, of course. So that's what's going on there. We can look at, let's see if we have any upgrades here and downgrades that we can just look at. To note here, let's see. Apple has gotten an upgrade. All right, price target of 195. What else here? Downgrades, nothing to note really. Let's see if there's a bigger list here. All right, let's see. So we know about Apple. AT&T got an upgrade. What else? Roku got an upgrade. Shopify, there's the upgrade. Tandem Diabetes, there's the upgrade. That's why they're moving. Right now, downgrades. Let's look at those. Lululemon, Southwest Airlines, Ulta Beauty. I'm trying to see why Morgan Stanley is down, but that's about it there. Let's see if the juice has anything for us. Oh, something going on here. Japanese financial authorities intervened in the forex market to support the yen. Okay. That might be why the dollar is down. And it says Citi expects the Fed to start cutting interest rates in July versus June. That's from Citibank. That's some news there. Tesla, Baidu jump as EV maker reportedly wins tentative not to launch FSD in China. That's why Tesla is up. see here. Now Google. Okay, let's see. Stock fell 1.5%, handing back some of Friday's chunky gains, which saw the Google parent breach the $2 trillion market. See, SoFi was up, but now it's down. Paramount Global stock rose 5% following reports Internet Chairman CEO Bob Bakish may be set to leave as it explores a sale. Still exploring the sale. All right. Coinbase we talked about. Let's see if there's any other news that is out. There might be some here. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. There might be something else different that I haven't covered. All right, let's look at it. So, Elon Musk pursues self-driving approval on China trip. That's what I was talking about. Domino's, don't need to talk about it. Apple's iPad OS subject to tough EO tech rules. No, that's not mattering. Let's see. Let's get into this. The yen rebounded from 34 years low over 160 per dollar on the suspected intervention by Japanese banks. Okay. Now let's move on to see if I just want to see what's going on with Morgan Stanley. If there's anything that I don't know. Just looking. I don't see anything. We'll go one more spot here. Let's see here. Maybe Morgan Stanley's in here. Because they were down 0.92%. I don't see anything there. Let's look at financials. I'm not going to spend too much time. I don't really know. I'm not gonna try to figure it out. Just trying to see here. Guess we're not gonna find out. Let's look at earnings. All right, so today was SoFi, Domino's Pizza. Okay. Today, after the close, Paramount Global, even though they're already up, right? That was because the CEO. What else today? That's really anything that I would care about. Tomorrow, before the open, PayPal, Eli Lilly, 3M, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Big Boys, Sirius. Now, after the close on Tuesday, Amazon, AMD, Super Microcomputers, Starbucks, Riot, Pinterest, Caesars. That's big. So tomorrow starts the big Amazon, AMD, Super Microcomputers, Starbucks, right? Wednesdays, Pfizer, CVS. So you got some healthcare, Barrick Gold, MasterCard, Norwegian Cruise Line, Kraft, Estee Lauder, Marriott, Qualcomm at the close, Devon Energy, what else? Carvana, Etsy. Thursday before the open, Peloton, Moderna, Penn National Gaming, ConocoPhillips, Cigna, Wayfair. After the close on Thursday, there you go. You got Apple and Coinbase and Block, DraftKings, Cloudflare, Fortinet, Amgen, Bookings Holdings, Expedia, Friday, Hershey, Fubu. Wow. Big weeks of earnings. We can get over that and we can go over to the daily charts. Look at this daily chart because it's been kind of a wild market, which is to be expected a little bit with earnings because that just, after the hours closed and Google reported, Meta reported, just did the opposite stuff. So let's look at these daily charts. All right, so what are we doing here? All right, so we have this downtrend line. We tag that, right? Right there. Boom. what did also we tag? The 20-day simple moving average. Look at that, right to the tick. Perfectly tagging that on Friday. Opened here, closed, right? We gapped up. So that was from Google. So what do we do here? We just hit this trend line in the 20-day simple moving average. With the big earnings on tap, you kind of went from all the way up to here, down to here, all the way down here, all the way back up here, right? Wild, wild, wild. And now, what do we do? Do we hang out here for Amazon and Apple? Don't know. Where are we at now? 509.74, 509.74. Poof. We are at the highs of Friday. Very interesting, right? At the highs of Friday. Very curious of what's going to happen, right? So, like I said, volume's a little low this morning, so we can go over to the Qs. Let's see what's going on there. So as you can see, the Qs came right up. See these two daily candles right here? And this is also previous month's low right here. We came right up to the 20-day as well. And this previous month's low got resistance, right? So we are now at 432.90. 432.90. We are also at Friday's highs, 20-day simple moving average, right? This could be a point of consolidation, and do we decide to break up higher or do we go back down? That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Like I said, this morning the volume's relatively low. Usually Mondays are a little like it's a little slow starts sometimes. And if Japan is on a holiday, not sure if that's why the volume's decreased, but it's a Monday. It's a Monday, so now we can move on to the triple-headed monster and look at that bond mark. I said the 10-year yield should go down. It is down 0.84%. It's down to 4.63. Let's look at that together. Okay, so let's look at that. So we closed up here, and now we're here, right? So we're just consolidating in this range. Big, this should change with FOMC and non-farm payrolls this week. Okay, you're in this range. You've been moving higher, right? People are selling bonds, but today they're buying them. We just have to see, right? Let's look at that dollar. Because that dollar with the yen. All right. Now that's not interesting here. Sometimes this dollar doesn't show what's happening. Because it's saying the dollar's at 105.67. Unless it's just frozen. Interesting. It says it's down here, but it doesn't show that on the chart. So, but it's down. It is moving, the price, but there's no candle for it. There's literally no candle for today. It's doesn't exist. Unless I'm blind. No. Alright, well, the dollar is down. So let's look at the VIX. The VIX has a little less fear in it. And you can see we went all the way up here, came all the way down. But we're holding 15. 15 is close to 16. It's not no fear. So, and that would be the triple-headed monster here. Now, what do we go to next? We can go right over to the market profile, volume profile. Right, we can look at our structure and get a game plan going. This is where I get my game plans. Okay. Now, I see here right off the bat that jumps out to me is this profile. Okay, it's a weekly profile. It's a rolling profile. And we have a little excess here. Then we have value area. That's 70% of the trade. Now look at that profile. That is called a bullish imbalance profile. Okay. That is not complete to the upside at all. That would be complete profile. Okay. So whenever you see an incomplete profile like this, a bearish imbalance, just means it's imbalanced to the upside with no excess, right? That usually means we're going to go higher. Okay. Usually means that. Now the most traded price of the week is here. Let's just call it 5100. All right, price is right here at 5142. Okay, so there's a couple nuances here. Okay, we can get into. Like I said, hopefully the volume picks up. But let's just go in a little closer here. Okay, let's get in a little closer. And we'll look at this together. So here's the highs from Friday. Happens to be pretty close to the overnight highs. Okay, here's the low. Right at the most traded price. Now, this is one of the things I was talking about, just real quick, that I was talking about right when I opened up the channel and live, right? I said not always a trade plan, right, works out, right? Like let's say my scenarios work out, but let's say this isn't really set up. And I'm noticing this market, the way it's moving, it's not really moving the way it normally does. When you look at order flow, when you look at a footprint chart or something, or the way that the market's moving, it's not moving like it normally does. Maybe that has to do with earnings or something, probably, right? Because we're in earnings, because it's just not moving like it typically does. So look what happened. We opened here, and we just literally came down to this. I talked about this in the pre-market video. Said I'd love to see it to come down here to hold this level. Well, it just literally went like boop, and then took off, and then it just held. And it really didn't give me a setup here, even though that was one of my scenarios. That's what I was just talking about earlier. All right, enough for that. All right, so that's just perfectly how it defended that most traded price of the week, right? So what I said here, we have a week high. Okay, we have Friday's lows. Now this is considered a single print. Single prints, just boom, and you held it, right? So if we come back down here, might not have much volume here. With not much volume here, we could just test this level again. Okay, now back to what I was saying here. Now we have a week high, potential breakout area here. Okay, we have a week low. Why is that? Okay, why is that? Now the most traded price of Friday, which is 51.35, lines up right with the overnight low. That's your week low. Okay, so the overnight high and the overnight low are very key. And it's more key because it lines up with the most traded price of Friday. Right? Like if I didn't know volume profile, all right, this overnight low wouldn't be as significant to me. It just wouldn't matter as much. Now that I know, right, that if people bought basically open and the most traded price was here and we closed here, all these people are long from here, and the most trades took place up here. Right now we're trading up here again. Okay, that's why I'm saying, okay, it goes both ways. If we break this and hold it, you're going back. If you break the high and hold it, we're probably going to possibly move up. Monthly VWAP's right here, 51.55. So sellers are still in control for the month. Okay, but we're close to testing that. Okay. All right, now we can get into scenarios. I have a plan in my head already, so that's what I was telling you guys. I do this live, so I don't know my plan until I'm watching it right in front of everyone else's eyes. Okay. Now I have to mention this as well. So there is single prints from the past, from the move down that we came into on Friday. So I'm going to move these up because whenever I clean them, I move it up. So there is single prints above us that could fuel the breakout higher. So let's get into it. All right, let's go to the ES scenarios. Okay. So we already know what I said the important levels are. So for a bull, same thing. Weak high here, possible breakout point. You have single prints here. You should not cause resistance if the market is strong. Okay. You do have monthly VWAP at 51.55 though. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Now, this weak low at 51.35 is also key for the bulls. It needs to be defended. Okay. So there's a couple scenarios here. All right. Now, I like to give trade scenarios if there's a trade, right? Because the market could just go nuts and then there's no trade, right? So this is what I would like to see. Okay, a couple things can happen here. We can pull back to here and test it. All right, these weak low is an area, okay, which means you could do this. Doesn't mean that it's not defended, but if you can't hold it, well, there you go. If you start to hold lower high, what do? You come up to this weak high and you can break through it, clean these single prints. Then you got the monthly VWAP. If you break that and you kind of hold above it, we could possibly go higher. Maybe to the 50-day moving average in futures. Okay? That's one, right? That's you defending this area. Okay? The other one would be there's your weak high. You could come up, break, hit monthly VWAP, test back here, and that could be your launch point. Okay? Now, conversely, if you're looking short, okay, still play off the weak high. You got supply here too, and you got your monthly VWAP. Okay? So, what could happen here as well is you use these two levels again. If you break this, but only break it a little bit, can clean the single prints, monthly VWAPs here. So two things can happen here. You cannot clean these singles and start coming back, right? Now the most traded price of the overnight is right here. So if you break that and hold it, you're going to test this weak low. Okay? If you break this and you hold and you hold and you hold, well, you're gonna probably move back down to here. Okay? You can also hit your head up on the monthly VWAP, get rejected. And like I said, once you really clear the most traded price of the overnight, you're probably going to test the most traded price of Friday. That's what I said. You have to break it and hold. Just to give you an example, another little line of inflection point. This is the value area low of Friday, which means 70% of the trade happened in this area on Friday, right? So if you hold, and you break that, well, everybody who was long, okay, even from here, right? So I have to mention that too. This is a weak low, actually. That's the overnight low from Thursday into Friday and Friday. So if you break this level too, oof, I don't know if that happens today. Let's just stick with the scenarios I had before. Okay, I really like them. It's very easy. Scenarios are very clean. I like that. Okay, so that's the ES. We can move over to the NASDAQ, okay? Okay. Let's look at the NASDAQ. All right, here's the NASDAQ. You don't have the weak high in the NASDAQ right now. So we're gonna open this up a little bit here so we can see it a little better. Profile wise, you don't have that bullish imbalance in the profile either in the NASDAQ. Okay? You have excess here. This is all value area. Okay? So you don't have the cleaner setup in the NASDAQ. price is right here. You're in a slight gap up. Okay, you broke up here. Now let's look at this. What you do have, you have similar, but it's not as clean. Okay, what did you do? Nasdaq over the overnight low here. You opened up, you tested that, and you ripped up, right? Like I said, it didn't really give you much chance to pull back. It didn't have a trade set up. All right, but what do we have here? We have Friday's highs, Friday's lows, overnight high, overnight low. Now, look here, the overnight lows. Okay, you have the most traded price and the close right here, and value area low from Friday. So that's the week low. Okay, so that area is your defense for the bulls. Come into this area, you got to defend it, and you could possibly move higher. Now, the difference too is the Nasdaq is in a supply zone right now from the past. Okay, it's in a supply zone. So, very similar setup. It's just not as clean with the levels in the Nasdaq because Nasdaq's already gapping up. Okay, and then just give you another for instance here, just to make sure everybody understands the structure of what we're dealing with here. Okay, if we look at this Nasdaq, right? Just look at these sessions. Just want to make sure everybody understands this. This right here, this session opened here, right? So you have everybody who went from the opening and this low is long. Okay, this was when Google reported. Closed here. Okay, so everybody was long from here. Then, okay, you only came down to here in the overnight session, Thursday into Friday. Okay, so here's a low, here's a lower high. Then you basically could not take out the overnight lows. Okay, and this spike, except that the price is higher, we pushed up higher, so you got longs from here into here, right? And now guess what? We have longs from here getting paid. Okay, so these are all longs getting paid. Okay, now one little thing I gotta note here, and I'm not mentioning this for meaning the market should fall now because everybody's long. Okay, what I am noticing though is look at this. Here's the inventory for the overnight. There's your shorts to all these long. What I'm saying is, and we're in supply, what I am saying is, and this is for a short-term trade, right, a day trade, is we could push up, come through this most traded price of the overnight, and then you just have people waiting to take profits. And you can definitely test this area, like I said. Okay, if you test it and you get a nice little short here, a fade off here, that'd be a nice little trade, right? And then if of course it breaks and falls lower, you can clean these single prints from Friday and test this week low right here at like 176.77, and then you're moving down to here, the most traded price of the week. Okay, that's why, because it would be like, okay, I'm taking my profits. Okay, that's just the psychology of it. But let's just get into the scenario. Okay, really quickly. We're going to go for the bullish scenario, and this is NQ scenarios. Okay, so let's just look at this together. All right, I said this is your defense for the bulls. Okay, so if I'm a bull, what I want to see is this. Remember, monthly VWAPs here, you're in supply. So I would like to see even a push up and then come through the most traded price of the overnight. All right, get some weakness, people taking some profit, and you defend this level. Defend it, lower high. That would fuel a move up, possibly the monthly VWAP. Then you do have single prints up here. I don't know if you do that today. I don't know. Okay, so that's what I would be looking for in the Nasdaq. Okay, as far as a bear, like I said, you have people getting paid. Okay, since the day Thursday, And Thursday and then into the close Thursday, people got paid. Okay, they have not got hurt. Really, shorts have not got hurt at all. So, like I said, I would like to see a push up. Okay, let's say this is the open, and this is the most traded price of the overnight. Okay, you can push up, come through there. Okay, if you come through there, look at all this volume here. You're going to get overnight short, overnight longs liquidate. Then you're going to test this area. If the bulls cannot defend this, they try, you fall. We could find ourselves at this week low, and they're in demand. So you could pop here, but if you don't break this, you're going to revisit this most traded price. Okay, around 175.94. Okay, remember, longs, all getting paid. This does not mean bearish, like bearish in a macro sense. It just means could be short-term bearish. Okay, that is the scenarios. Okay, I really like the plans today. It's just that I hope the market has some volume and the market moves a little more normally, because it's really not pulling. I've noticed that it hasn't had many nice like moves up, pulls back, moves up, pulls back. It's kind of like a move. It's like they're very short lived. So anyway, we got our plan. So I'm happy about that. All right, I'm happy about that plan. So subscribe, set an alert if you haven't already. Okay. Hopefully it's convinced you. If it hasn't, maybe I'll have to, you can watch me again tomorrow morning at 8:10. Okay. Give me a like if you like what you saw. All right. We got our plans. I got my plan. I'm gonna wait and sit patiently like a surfer would, waiting for the right wave. All right. Wish everybody has a great day. It's a green day, and I hope it's a green day for you guys. And I'll see everybody tomorrow.